It is a world of darkness, and the warriors of Gaia fight over the fate of the world against their enemy, the cosmic force of entropy and corruption, the Wyrm. Unbeknownst to mankind, they wage a war against the coming apocalypse, with new cubs taking up the cause to fight with fang, clave, and gun and claw. They give the Wyrm no quarter. They give it only rage.
And that's to ignore penalties, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And I can add my dots in pure breed, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Trust me, I did.
Shit.
Not me.
You don't have pure breed.
Exactly.
You're a mongrel.
Fine, I'll pure breed. Next character.
Oh yeah. Tara will leap in front of him, growling as they face each other down. Tara roll again. It actually forces Harold to take one step back as he's either not expecting this or actually momentarily wondering what's going on.
Roll again.
Yep.
Does my air of confidence count? Yes?
I believe so.
Okay, cool.
Ooh. This time the both stare at each other with such fervor, such strength in their bearing, their hackles raised, massive teeth snarling. Tara, one more roll. Harold looks away. And immediately surrenders control to Darren. He's
pissed.
He's pretty much thrown his hands up and just gone, fuck this.
Lost to a pop, bozo.
Am I still in Krynos?
Yes.
I cut that goddamn tree down and walk away.
Alright. Going back into the scene. As the snow is painted with varying shades of red and pink, some of it being obscured away as the snow is blown away, the Wendigo managing, fucking finally, to pull themselves free from the thicket's embrace, ceased fighting. Their philodox on one knee, holding up a hand, pleading for you to cease and spare their alpha.
He will place the severed spine vertebrae on the ground next to him. Walk over, and how would I accept their surrender?
Well, it should be your alpha who accepts that.
Oh, okay. Then Dara.
Tara, in her Krynos form, walks towards where the Alpha, their Zadok, has fallen, growling in every footstep heavy, as she stands before their pleading Philodox. And she says, firstly, just growl, saying, Do the decisions of your elders mean nothing to you? Does the litany mean nothing to you?
It is the decision of the Alpha to clasp, clutching in the snow for his clave, as his Philodox, still in the position, bearing his throat in submission, says, "Such was the will of our Alpha. Such was the will of the Stormcrow. We sought glory, nothing more. You have bested us."
Do I see him clutching for his clave?
The Alpha? Wits alertness. Nothing escapes the vigilant watch of the pack.
Snarls still in Hispo would kind of pick it up with his... Wait, does he seem like he's going to be attacking with it? Or...
I mean, you doubt he wants to bake you a cake.
Snarls would pick it up with his mouth, considering he's still in Hispo. Returning back to Tara's side. He merely shakes his head as he does so.
Tara would say, "We will accept an honorable surrender, and you can have your Alpha along with his clave back. If you can get the Philodox Elder to speak to us."
Looking up, there is a moment's pause. "You would keep our Alpha while you send us away?"
"That is the least that you could do for your transgressions."
Snarls, with the clave still in his mouth, growls slightly at that.
"Where would you meet the Elder?"
"At the clearing 3 miles northeast from the Sept."
The Wendigo, looking amongst each other, glower their direction back at you. They don't seem pleased by what they're hearing, yet they're not putting up a staunch resistance. They don't have many options.
Tara just maintains very stern eye contact.
"We have your word that nothing will happen to the Alpha."
Tara brings her hand up in a fist and over her chest, saying, "You have my word."
"Then we will bring the Elder, as you say, and sort this issue."
He's gonna step forward.
You're lying.
"I speak truth."
The fetish says otherwise.
Tara bares her fangs.
Now you lie.
"Do we have your word?"
"I will bring the Elders and we will make peace."
You lie again. I will rend your Alpha's head from his neck.
He draws one hand up, his talons outstretched. "Watch your tongue."
Then watch yours.
The other Wendigo snarl. Several exchange glances.
Could I try to read them?
Snarls. You're getting that uncomfortable feeling again that they're about to try some shit.
Snarls,
Can I grab their leader by the throat, raising him up into the air?
Strength and brawl. Meanwhile, Darren, wits and alertness.
Snarls is holding the clave in his mouth. He would go into Krynos so that he could speak, and he would say, "Don't you dare try."
Stamina primal urge. Dropping the clave from your mouth. You had some sap on there that really just tasted horrible. You could not think until you got that thing out of your mouth. Meanwhile, Tara, scooping up the leader, all of them move forward until she holds him up.
Dee's gonna
Would I
stand
be
between
able?
them.
Would I be able to use persuasion again?
Yes.
Okay. Tara will say, "You will do as we ask. Do not dishonor yourselves even more."
Stepping forward, one of the Krynos of the Wendigo puts a hand over his heart. You can see him shift back into the Galbro. His nudity not bothering him, he cuts with each claw on his hand over the place of his heart. I will go and bring the Philodox without treachery.
Tara glances over to D for a split second before returning her gaze to the one who stepped forward.
He tells truth.
She lowers the Zadok, letting go of him, or letting him go drop back into the snow, and then gives a nod.
With that, he turns, shifting to the lupus form, and begins to trot away before breaking into a sprint. The other Wendigo wait, shifting to their breed forms. Their Galliard stepping forward with the Theurge, stare daggers into Tara
She
before the
stares
Theurge
back.
asks, "Are we allowed to see to our alpha?"
No.
That depends if you intend treachery.
A small-looking one with only a bit of peach fuzz on his face crosses his arms over his chest. Coming from your people, what would we only repeat what we've learned?
Can I read him?
Yes.
Okay, I'm getting it out the way, okay?
You get the impression he is trying and failing very poorly to seduce Tara.
Snarls looks at him very confused as he places his paw over the clave that he dropped, drawing it closer to him. His head is slightly tilted. Although he's got a hispo, face, he looks in utter confusion and thought.
Meanwhile, we're going to step away, and Darren, come with me. Just as you were wandering away from the pack, passing under a bramble of thorns that pulls at your fur and flesh, you are then confronted by a beautiful scene of a hot spring pool serving as the centerpiece, with lush vegetation thriving around the pool, which is hot enough to melt the snow and ice adjacent around. A tall rock wall shoots up from the forest floor bordering the pool on one side, and the sweet smell of spring earth is quite clear here. Without realizing it, you have stepped somewhere into the Umbra, and only vaguely you are able to recall that this is one of the sacred glens. A beautiful, untouched place, a protected place where Gaia's power is strong. This being one of the kind of thing that the Garu fight to preserve.
Still in my Krynos form, I sniff the air and prowl around, not knowing how I shifted. I don't trust this image before me.
The scene does not change as the water laps faintly, and you can feel the warmth of it soothe some of the cold which has clung to your fur.
One man, come.
Roll your ancestors. You see the image of one man approach, and you see him for himself rather than the man that you recognize. He is an old, grizzled veteran with long black hair, a beard tied into two braids on either side of his chin. Scars line his face and exposed flesh, one creasing down from his forehead over his right eye and upper lip, giving him a deformed appearance. His hands, though homid, curled like claws, he glowers at you. And as he begins to take a step forward, preparing to hear what it is you have to say, you feel a hand on your shoulder.
I turn.
Wits and alertness. You recognize this warrior. Yet the only reason he would be here now, the only reason he would be here as you evoke the memory of your ancestors, would be the fact that he is an ancestor. Uli Brightjaws, or Uli Scarheart. He stares down Harold just as you did. and then pushes you forward, forcing the confrontation.
At the very beginning of the pressure of him being pushed forward, Darren would turn to face Harald and, I suppose, step with purpose towards him, brandishing his talons, spreading his hands at his sides.
You steal my glory.
I give you honor when you have none.
And Darren would attack, lunging forward with his talons.
It is a savage brawl. Bites and claws. He has no choice but to fight you as Krynos. Even as stubborn as he is, Harald isn't insane enough to fight a Krynos in Hamid. Yet he does try in Galbro. Yet you have him pinned against the rock wall, your feet bathing in the waters beneath you, as he is unable to fight against. He snarls, grabbing at your throat. You lack conviction. I give you that.
You give weakness.
You're coddled, weak.
And you are shameful.
Charisma and expression. Both of his hands grabbing at her furred throat, he glowers at you. You have strength, pup. Why do you hesitate? Why do you force me to act? That is all you are, whimpering, calling on me. Whimpering with those pups you call packmates. Cease whimpering. I only want you to be strong. To beget. We are born to kill, to fight.
Then watch. Only.
And Darren would release him and stand straight.
I will prove myself.
A shadow falls over you. You look back and see that it is not Scarheart, but through the trees, two eyes like burning suns watch, waiting. They want to see that promise fulfilled. And in the waters beneath you, you see how Harald died. He died in Harano. He died in a frenzy because his whole pack perished due to his incompetence. And that is what drove him mad. That is why he drives you to be strong. That is why he is shameful. And why he won't give up. But you've made him understand, and you've made him afraid. We can return to the others.
Please tell me we're not dead.
I'll let Darren decide if he comes back.
If he comes
What?
Just saying.
Darren, my man, what happened out of character?
You get your ass back here!
Remember the pack, don't run away. Oh, could I try and track down Darren so we can get him and go?
Darren, Dex and Stealth, Snarls, Perception Investigation, or Survival for, trying to sniff him out. Snarls, you can tell that he is staying close, but seems to be holding back, more or less watching from the sideline. Perhaps looking over the pack as you move.
Ah, bitch. Dead. Okay, sorry. Cool.
Out of character, Tara. Should we try to convince these Wendigo that we're not responsible for our Sept, our people aren't responsible for the dead pups?
We're not saying anything to them, and if you start talking to them about it, I will tell you to stop. We're not saying fuck all to these ones.
Okay.
Would I be able to tell what Darren's doing?
Watching.
Yes.
He's just watching.
He is watching.
Alright, then we'll call it here.
I gotta know what happened.
Before I go, before I fall.